technical issue there. Stream froze. We're back though. So hopefully you were there for the egg conversation. If not, you missed it. Moving on.
It was prime.
Okay, so there are multiple ways to rig a race. Do we want to do it the violent way, the financial way, or the sneaky way?
We
We
could
do
have
this-
these guys turn into the animals and they just suck that night.
Well, they're
Can you
probably
turn
going
into
to
a
know
s-
that
I don't
those
think
are
you
their
can.
Oh, I pointed at you.
I
You're a
don't
druid.
think they're. He's a ranger.
I
I don't think they're
yeah.
high enough level to be able to shapeshift
No.
into things most from
I
a
think
human.
it's
He
6.
probably.
I mean,
for
I'd have to
swimming
see it first to do it,
It's worth thinking about
but
to
I
see if you
I
can
should
do
be
it.
able to.
I think swimming speed is like
Nature.
level 6,
But-
isn't it?
Also, you don't
No, 'cause light
copy
is
the
like
animal
level-
of the
Fight is
level
the. Hey, I think I can do swimming now.
Nature.
Any.
What do seahorses eat?
What's happening?
That's going to be like 20 minus
Okay.
1.
What real seahorses feed off of, I have no idea. But what the giant seahorses feed
Fourth
off of
level is just
is
no flying
the low-level oldest
So we can
shoots
do that.
of Seeker.
Although he might not be able to, depending on the CR.
So,
No, he
Seahorses-
It's the same. Oh, but different.
the big seahorses eat the low-level shoots of kelp. So, what we do is we give them something that will make them go potty a lot, and they won't be able to swim fast.
It actually adds thrust. No, I'm just kidding.
Is it?
They win by
Oh,
an
never
extra
mind.
margin.
They'll be sick.
So that's the sneaky
Can
way.
you cast Badberry?
You realize
What if-
now he's going to research a new spell.
What-
Badberry.
I actually,
Remy is into
based on what we were talking about, you guys could turn into the seahorses. I bet you.
Well,
I don't know what you would say its CR is, but if
I
it's
can't have
equivalent to a
swimming speed.
horse, oh, because you're only 3rd level druid, huh? Never mind.
But
But you
I
can turn
can-
into one of them.
I can't.
Well,
I can't
that would
do
be
that.
as good.
He would be a skeletal one.
have you seen how I shapeshift?
I have
Although I could,
You could
Could-
do disguise self.
and then shapeshift, would that work?
Yeah, you could do that.
I have a different idea.
No. Disguise
Well, not
self
the-
requires
the
the same
alter self.
arrangement of limbs.
Alter self?
Alter self? I would let that work. Give yourself flesh and then shift. Yeah.
What if he cast disguise self to look like
So disguise self
that?
wouldn't work because you need the same basic arrangement of limbs. And
Okay,
they don't.
gotcha.
And
Yeah.
But
And it's more of an illusion.
yeah, but alter self to give himself flesh and then shapeshifting, I'd let that work.
Alter self is I literally grow flesh.
I can be in the stands and make the horse laugh.
That's nice.
I think
But
there's
that
certain
seems
levels
like
of
it's obvious.
magic that are going to be visible.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I
You
have
gotta be kinda
another
careful.
idea
The
that
que-
doesn't require magic.
I think a substance
Or
is
poison.
probably going to do us the best.
I
Honestly, probably.
I mean, my first idea was I just shapeshift into an octopus and then.
mean,
Attack
stop for a minute.
But go ahead.
Here's my idea. So obviously this is a shady thing, and there are shady people in this competition. That's why they're winning. That means that there is something you can grab to point the sheriff at to shut them down.
But we don't want to shut them down.
Why not?
It
It'd be for like a day. They're just going to
it
prison.
sounded
for some
like they
crime.
needed to be in the
They need
race,
to
right?
lose
Yeah,
the race.
they need to
It's
lose the
rigging
race.
the race.
They have to be there.
They're not preventing
Well, I
them
mean-
from competing or something like that.
Petra will still have to compete. Just make sure that the best racers are in prison.
Well,
She has to lose.
she has to lose because the bets
Yeah,
are set
I know,
right
I know. She
before.
probably has more racers than those top 5.
Petra is the person
She
that has to be
also-
defeated.
she has to lose. See, I thought it was a
She
group
has-
of
Yeah, we
5.
have to make one
Yeah.
NASCAR lose.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. You definitely have to poison her.
It's a heck of
But
a
we need to do it in
conversation.
such a way that it can't be detected and that it can't be traced back to us or linked back to my friend.
You know, I can talk to animals. We could just demoralize her seahorses.
You suck.
No,
You're
the
the slowest.
Or bribe them. What did you say they eat? Maybe. we could give them the
You know how
highlight.
there's
Looks-
catnips. for
How intelligent
cats.
are these creatures?
Horse, no.
Give me a nature check.
Seahorse equivalent?
Seahorse, nip.
Yeah, something.
We
20.
catch tide vermin
20? Wow. Okay.
and
they're
release them.
they're on the high end spectrum of a horse's intelligence. So they're fairly smart.
Okay.
That's
We
what, like a
catch
5?
tide vermin and release
More like a
them
6.
in the seahorse pens.
So
With
these
the horses
creatures
to
are
see
not
if
going to
I-
willingly eat something that they know is going to hurt them.
That's why we give them
It
the
needs to
equivalent
be
of
mixed
catnip.
with something that they're going to like.
Yeah, catnip.
I like the idea of Zotan turning into one of them, and then we just like bully the other one. How many?
Question for
do we
the
know
GM.
how many are?
I
how many
like that.
seahorses
Bullying
are
the other
factor?
one, get
Four.
them disqualified, or get one pushed aside.
Should we send someone to scout out the security
Do
of
some legwork.
Yeah.
Question for the GM.
Well, first
Maybe we
off,
should go
can,
and
on
send
your
a Decker
map,
up to check on the.
can you show us
on the
where the
bid.
race happens on his map?
Yeah, so if you pull out the map,
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Since it
So
was
that
down by
worked
the
out really
shore,
well.
I know exactly because
I didn't realize we
Luke?
were playing Shadowrun today.
Are they beasts?
Yes, they're beasts.
Oh, I said I was like, this is such a shepherd.
Honestly,
Remy has
there's
this
a
look
lot
on
of
his
things from
face. He
Shadowrun
might
that
have a
I'm going to be
solution.
rolling in a lot more into D&D. Like,
If I can
I'm
get
probably
to
going to
them,
make contacts.
I can make
Because
one
they're
of them
really, really
leave
good.
for 24 hours.
You can make one of them what?
I can make one of them leave for 24 hours.
She still has to race, but with seahorses that are not.
Hers.
But there could be other
We
should-
horses that have
Give
to
me an
fill
intelligence
in.
check.
I think that's just 11.
11?
Hold on, let me just double check. See how much.
Remy,
They're minor leaguer horses
You
that are
also
waiting for
mentioned
their
there was something the
opportunity.
sheriff wanted us to look
12.
at about some sea monster,
12?
right?
Yes.
Considering the fact
What
that
if-
this is supposed to be rigging a race for manipulating bets, if she's not running with her optimal horses, it's not going to be as good a betting pool.
That's fair. Yeah, maybe we should
What if
go look at her horses and go look at the stables and just kind of see
So-
what they maybe will be checking
Did
for.
they tell us to be in the race or to influence only?
She
They-
just has to lose.
Yeah. So you could like be casting haste on a bunch of your own sea ponies, or whatever. Like she just has to lose. It doesn't matter how.
You know,
So,
actually,
I
that's
still have a
not a
question for
bad
the GM.
idea. Because if she has 4 horses and she loses to 1 horse, that's just shameful.
I guess a question for Luke.
Yes.
How shady is this competition? Like on a scale of
Is it like the Boon to Eve race?
You'd need to do some local investigation on that.
like what level?
I
of
imagine it's like how the Kentucky
Now
Derby's
this
been
is
looking
horse
this year.
race.
You're not from around here. You've been here, but this isn't something you've ever looked into before. You need to have more local details before you would
Okay,
know.
I'll walk outside the door. I'll go downstairs, find some servant, and say, "Hey, have you heard of this race?"
Okay, give me an investigation check.
This is like an RPG mission.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
this is an RPG.
You're
Okay.
100% right.
You have good insight.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude, this looks
Brian's
like a
finally got
D20.
it.
12. Is there a servant downstairs?
It's too bad. that
Yeah,
wasn't
okay.
12.
You find one and you start talking to them. They don't really run in those circles, though, so it'll take you a while. But if you're willing to stick with it for
hasn't
about...
even heard of it.
No, they've heard of it. They just
Okay, that's
don't know
what I
enough
was
about
interested
it.
in finding out. I don't want to know
She
details.
would pair
from
up
him.
for team assignments.
Yes,
knowing
absolutely.
that he doesn't know is information for me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get
Okay.
But I mean, he's also an employee at an upper end inn.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts it in the shady class because people with money don't care.
Okay.
Well, people with money don't care to be in the race.
Maybe you could talk to her before the race.
Okay, all right, we've done a little bit of brainstorming. Let's. Then she'll be dead though. And we've done a little bit of brainstorming. Let's narrow down what we need. I'm gonna pull out a piece of paper and make a list. Number 1, what do we need to know?
See, what I do is I cast Speak with Animals on him, and he talks to the seahorses.
So,
That's how you get an instant kraken.
Perhaps, hey, listen.
Okay, guys, he's tried to bring you in together here.
if we want the whole viableness of me shapeshifting into a seahorse, I need to see one.
That's a good
Okay, so we need to look at the seahorses.
So we need to go to the stables.
Yeah, go to stables is better.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to
We-
look at the track
we-
and where the stables are and everything.
We need to decide if we are going to
I might do
hinder her race or excel in someone else's, help someone else's race excel.
We could
Okay.
do both. Like one other person, we help them.
Maybe
Even?
we find out what foods it would like that might slow it down for the race as well.
Something with really high fiber.
Yeah, so we'll check on what kind
So-
of Alfredo they want to eat like 4 minutes beforehand.
Sure.
What else do we need to know? Probably any kind of like drug, magic, whatever checks they do on the horses and riders
Realize-
before it starts, right?
Right.
Guys, if we can find their feed, we can just pour a bunch of alcohol
You know-
on it. The kelp will absorb that.
Yeah, but
We could also find out what the rules of the race are.
Drunk horses.
we
are
also
good
need to make it
horses.
look like it wasn't purposefully sabotaged.
Yeah.
And this needs to be sneaky, otherwise they're gonna know what's up, and they're gonna disqualify everyone in that
Well,
entire race.
think of it this way. Say the rules of the race allow for combat mid-race. We don't
So-
know. It's worth looking into.
So let's go check the rules.
Yes.
Find out any possible weaknesses that she may have.
And
Maybe she has a
get
daughter.
her dirt. That's 6 things. Let's maybe start there and see what we got.
Okay.
Who wants to go to the stables?
I'll go to the stables.
I'll go to the
I
stables.
mean, I kind of need to.
Cool. You guys are pairing off for that side mission?
Yeah, I guess
High
I'll go to the
five.
stables too, because yeah.
Well, we got 6 things. Well, yeah, you can.
Well,
sure.
there's
Yeah, that's
some
no problem.
things that can be done at the stables, like finding out the rules of the race.
True.
Yeah.
Well, do you think it would be beneficial to go over some of these things with my friend who might know more about this? Because
I
they're all
don't
his
think.
money,
I mean,
right?
yeah.
So maybe
They're
we
the
should
ones
head
that
there
are heavily
first.
involved with the race. So,
Did you say
Well, let's head down there.
Talking animals.
and then
Maybe
to
get
stables.
some
Not me,
information,
someone else.
and that may us help narrow down some things
Yeah.
that we need to look for at the stables.
All right. Sweet. Who wants to find out what kind of things we could potentially slip to the horses to maybe mess them up? Or slip to other horses to, like,
That's-
jack them up?
Hold on. When are we doing this now?
I mean, we're going to be splitting up for, like,
Yeah.
investigation duties.
Okay, I have something else I need to be doing. He's not allowed to go anywhere with anyone except for to talk to you guys.
What?
He's loopy.
He's
Oh, okay.
not trustworthy.
I still think we
Um,
should get him pregnant.
See, point stands.
Maybe we should get you.
I can't take him with me because it would not go well.
Well, how about
Not taking them with me.
the 3 of us then go and see what kind of drug checks they do, and then look for drugs that we can slip
I don't think
to the
so.
horses, good or
Looks
bad.
like they're
I
sharp
picture
to a
you
carrot.
go up to some stable
Cold
keeper.
as a carrot.
So, what kind of drug checks do you guys do? Oh, we check for everything but this drug. Oh, you know where I can get some? Ah, yeah, sure. And for the record, I'm not trying to mock what
So
you're doing. That's
Zodiac,
just
are
what came to
you?
mind.
Are we going together
How's the
down to
plan?
my friend?
I assume so.
Are you? Where are you?
I'm with them.
He said he was coming.
So
with
you're coming with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
If
So-
we're gonna be, betting people watching the race, we want to know that it's fair, right? Or at least we want to know what is fair.
I mean, it's there are definitely questions that we can find answers to. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you might be able to get some dirt on her, that's our last task, and you're probably best suited
I
for it.
wouldn't mind asking about it.
Cool. All right.
So yeah, we go down to the docks.
1, 2, 3. Crime.
Team.
No, not crime.
Please don't involve
Adventure, because we're good
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Crime is bad guys.
me. Just if you get caught,
We're all operatives in a mission.
don't mention me.
Yeah.
Please.
Right.
1, 2,
We're not
3.
to the point
Urias.
Fine, I'll just remember you.
I mean, you're already in the shady stuff, so.
So if we go down to
Yeah.
the docks to my friend,
Well, maybe not for shady shades.
I do want to make sure that I leave them behind before I go in and talk and make sure that it's okay that they
Okay.
can come in.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check with advantage.
You
What do
would
you do?
just, you would just tell us.
I
to
have a couple
Yeah.
things I want to do.
Okay.
Would you like me to list those off?
Really?
What are you going to start with?
Okay, first things first. I'm going to go over to a place where I met. Can't remember his name all of a sudden. The guy who just barely had a head brain injury.
Oh. Crap, what is his name?
Short mouse and a tall desk.
No, he has a name. I
That's
just need to
that's
get
his tribal name.
Where did I leave my phone?
I want to say it was like Albert.
I rolled
So
a,
Albert Brenneman.
an astounding 10.
10, even with advantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 5 and a 2.
That is unfortunate.
Right?
Give me a second.
I can do it.
Have it.
Michael, what are the chances I could do that to the horse? That's racing.
I don't know. I'm not going to cast it on you, though. 'cause I
Alfred
don't know
Barter
about
Clan,
it.
I remember.
That's the one.
I can
Alpha
speak to
Butterfly.
any
My
animal.
friend
Purely
Slick
like-
Henry, right?
Yes,
Well,
like
it has to have a native
Awakened mind, so you can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet.
Yeah, any creature.
But 30 feet.
I don't know if you're going to be able to bank on your patron from a metagame perspective. I don't think you can bank on your patron just like doing your bidding when he's mad at you.
Okay. So first things first, we rewind about an hour and a half. You said that you wish to speak to your Aunt Nella about something?
Well, not speak so much. So
Okay.
we meet. We
Yes.
have a nice conversation.
Yep.
I attempt to convince her that I'm not, in fact, in a
Romantic relationship
romantic relationship with my employer.
with your boss? Okay.
May I roll for
You
persuasion?
may roll for persuasion.
Do I have disadvantage?
No.
Okay.
Straight roll.
She's gonna pass though.
Persuasion. Oh yeah, and I healed myself. So 13, 14, 15.
15?
I'm not going to do this, but I wish I could. Is I toss a rock in that says, "I'll see you later tonight, honey." See you later tonight, honey. I'll see you later tonight.
You were gone, so.
I know.
It's doing that for 45 minutes.
She rolled well, but does that mean she believes you or she doesn't believe you? That's
Well,
the
it's the
question.
truth that we're not. So.
I know, but this is funny.
Has-
Okay. By the end of the meal, you think she's not sure anymore. We'll put it that way.
Okay, I can live with that.
Okay.
All right, but in the room that we were having our dinner,
Uh-huh.
what do
This is lunch.
Oh, lunch, yes. What do the windows look like of this dining area?
So you're eating at the inn. That'd be in the north wing. Well, wing is the wrong word. North side of the building. They're actually very high quality glass, so it's like not the wavy stuff. It's actually like clear, and it's framed with alternating red and orange colored panels, is like rectangular panels along the outside.
Are they latched or can they be pushed open?
No, this is like a stainless window sort
Oh,
of
dang
thing.
it. Okay.
Well, so the main windows you couldn't, but there are windows up at the top for ventilation that are currently open,
Oh, okay. All right. No worries then. So.
but they're not the high quality windows.
At some point during our meal, I would like to try to. So I have time to do this. I would like to try to subtly cast a mage hand.
Do you have subtle casting, or are you just
No,
doing a sleight
I'm
of
just
hand?
trying to sleight of hand.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, your mage hand you can do without components.
I can't.
Yeah,
I thought it was
that's part of your telekinetic stuff.
possibly. Let me double check.
That's tight.
I know it's invisible, but I don't know about.
Pretty sure it's without any components as well.
If it's like the Ledger.
Oh, okay, yeah, without verbal or somatic components. Nice. Okay. All right. So I cast mage
It
hand.
also has twice the range.
Yeah. Well, it can't have twice the range, which it does. I have the hand float around to the back of her head and tap her on the shoulder
Okay.
as if like someone's trying to catch her attention.
Okay. And she says, "Oh."
Yeah.
Turns to look.
And during that time, I'm going to cast Phantasmal Force.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me a sleight of hand for this, because like you also need to not attract attention back to you with moving out of her corner of her eye sort of thing.
Okay. Pretty good. 21.
Okay. Yeah. Need to find a better rolling service. There we go. Yeah, she doesn't seem to notice.
Okay. Nice.
So what illusion are you putting in your aunt's mind?
She being attacked by tide vermin?
No. I am. Just kidding.
Faking her own death.
Invisibility.
Basically, what happens is I'm pretty smart. I know like the dangerous like birds of the area, right?
Give me a nature check.
Wait, I can reroll once. Halfway good. Nature. That is a 22.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. You know that like dangerous to halflings.
Just dangerous in general.
Chicken
Okay.
pox?
That could also fit through that window at the top of the.
So how dangerous you talking?
Moderately dangerous. I don't know.
Okay, so you're not talking about the ones that fly off with halflings.
No.
Okay.
Woodpecker or Charles?
Well,
We'll just go with
actually,
like a
sure.
because it would be a tight fit for one of those.
Never mind then.
Okay.
The specifics aren't important. Just like scary bird with talons
Okay,
that
yeah.
could fit like through one of those windows.
Just like a decent sized like golden eagle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. All right. So, does she need to make a save?
Yeah, she does.
All right,
actually.
and could have been important.
Okay, you're gonna.
This is important to Hazel that she fails this, so I'm
Okay.
going to use my important. So she rolls a 2.
Okay.
It's important to me that
she
she
fails
fails this. That a golden eagle, making a lot of noise and commotion, flies into the room from another room,
Okay.
lands on our table, just kind of like flaps its wings and makes like a huge commotion,
Okay.
and then takes off again, and one of its talons rakes Hazel across
okay.
the face. And then I will drop the disguised self on myself that has made my appearance look normal.
Okay.
Well, or if I can, never mind, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you need to make it look bloody, otherwise it'd be
Yeah.
like instant scar.
Yeah.
Okay, so this bird flies in. She's like, "Oh my goodness!" as the bird rakes your face and then takes off. She's like, "Hazel, my dear!" and comes running over, and everybody's like, "What's going on?"
Can I possibly, can I have like that be in addition to the phantasmal force, or does it need to be like
No.
one particular thing?
It would. What you could do is you could recast disguise self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because those are both concentration anyway, right?
Well, disguise self isn't.
Oh, it's not.
Mm-hmm. Well, it says that I can. Let me just read it really quick.
Okay.
Illusion.
You just because, as I recall, the illusion doesn't change.
Mhm.
It just keeps being what it was.
The target rationalizes any illogical outcomes from interacting with the phantasm. Could that?
That would be like if she tried to touch it and couldn't feel it.
Okay.
You just gave your hand trauma.
Yeah.
You want
Okay.
to you want to try casting disguise self without being noticed?
Sure.
Okay, give me another sleight of hand.
Okay.
This time with disadvantage,
Can
because she's
I-
definitely focused on you.
Mm-hmm. With disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Sleight of hand, disadvantage. Okay, that worst one is a 8. And I will use my natural 1 portent
Okay.
on her.
Okay. Okay, so you go through both of your portents.
Yes.
She would have rolled a 1 anyway. That's funny. But
don't tell me.
halfling. It would have been fine.
That's a roll.
I know.
Okay.
I rolled the 1, turned it into a 5. You turned it into a 1. Anyway. So okay.
I've blown so many spell slots so my family doesn't think less of me.
Hazel, are you all right? And now you're this bloody mess, and everybody around you is confused. Some attendants come over to help you, and they're trying to mop. They like start to go to mop up the blood. Are you going to try and stop them from touching your non-bloody face?
I'm going to be like, run out of the room.
I'm just imagining this like extended family member being like, who was Hazel again? Wasn't that the one that got like attacked by a bird in a restaurant? Yeah, that's the one.
Family reunion.
This is the
Bird
most.
foe.
This is the most hardcore like RPG spellcaster mentality. In that you could have just told her this story. Difference between a wizard and a bard, right there.
Yeah, true.
Don't have to lie when you make it. That's when you make it happen.
You make it outside, and you're like, yes! Okay, that was an hour and a half ago. You're back to the group. We're good.
All right, let me just like
An air of confidence. Hazel re-enters the room.
yeah. Let me figure out how many spell slots. I have.
So right before we cut over, somebody was like, "So Hazel, what were you doing?" And then it just cuts to that. She just got this sly, confident look on her face.
My
Oh,
aunt,
nothing.
My aunt screaming while she's just like muttering and like Doctor Stranging her hands.
Okay, so where we picked up then? Who wants to be doing stuff?
All right, so we split up to do our task. They were doing theirs.
Yeah,
first.
we were
Okay.
going down to the docks. I
Okay.
rolled a 10 for investigation.
Okay. So I mean, you know where you saw her last, but no, she told you about her racing establishment, didn't she? I'm pretty sure that she did. Let me grab that really quick.
I told you the best luck with points at 201.
Remember the
You roll that,
details
right?
of the race.
I did.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure she told you about her place.
Okay.
So
Fair.
totally don't have it written down.
It could also be argued that was the bard way to do it too. It was a lot more theatrical.
What's the better story? She heard Hazel
Peg leg
talk
and
about
hook
this, or
racing.
she
Yeah,
saw
sure.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
don't
find your
tell.
place, no problem, because she did tell you about
Okay, okay.
it. Peg leg and
So, yeah. Is her place kind of like a hidden place? Is this
Oh,
the
it's
place?
not hidden. Like, she runs the races.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm just gonna bring them in with me
Okay.
and walk into this place.
Okay, so you walk into this place. It's like this mixture of like covered dock, bar, betting establishment, and mercenary lounge all rolled together. So you come in and there's like somebody thrashing in the little like covered dock area with like some seahorses bumping him around, some sea ponies bumping him around. Because he was drunk and fell in the water, and you've got people that are like trying to look tough in the corner, trying to get hired for things. You've got some stairs that go up to like an upper area, kind of like you see in like factories and hangars, that sort of thing. And there's also some side attached buildings. So you ask around, and one of the waiters here is able to direct you to her office.
I'd like to note, I'm walking in without my hood on, looking like an elf.
Okay. You're Elfie.
Okay.
So you get directed to her office.
Yeah, I enter her office, but alone.
Okay, so you just
At
walk
first.
in.
Yeah.
Okay. So you step in and you hear, "Excuse me, I told," and then she's like, "Oh, hi," and you see that she was like standing up as she was pulling a knife off of her table, and she's like, "Knock next time."
Sorry, I guess a little bit of urgency is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? You looking into Petra for me?
Huh?
You looking into dealing with Petra for me?
I'm. Wait, is she asking this?
Yes.
What I'm looking to do is, helping you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can I do for you then?
Well, my friends and I have some questions for you.
Okay.
I was wondering if it'd be okay if I.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Open the door, let you guys in.
Okay.
What do I see?
So you come in. There is a halfling woman with. She is like the most stereotypical pirate woman look you can achieve in a halfling. So she has like large, tumbling, curly red hair. She's got like the puffed out white blouse with the like a dark blue vest over the top. Flared out wide pants with like the short heels. She has some sort of device that you're not familiar with. It's got a large metal cylinder attached to some sort of wooden frame shoved through her belt. And she has a pair of knives on her hip as well. And she was dragging what looked like a very fancy knife across the table just a moment ago, and now she's spinning it idly in one hand. Also, her half of the room is built to halfling scale. That half of the room is built to human scale, but there's things that would allow her to like get up to like her little desk area where she's got different fancy alcohols and stuff like that. And the chairs. There's a set of chairs for like halfling scale and also for human scale.
Is there like a little door in the door, like kid to kid?
No. But there is two knobs. Just it turns. Either one opens the door.
Catch me walking with my hands in my pocket and I look at that halfling. I'm like, "Arg, matey," sarcastically.
Just like, I love your friends.
Just ignore the metal.
I reach my hand over and just
Friends.
smack him on the back of the head.
Metal clunk.
It's gonna. So,
-2 strength.
You heal him.
we want to help you, but we first need to know a little bit more about this race.
Okay.
As far as maybe what
Rules,
these
regulations.
beasts, yeah, more about the beasts themselves.
I mean, as you can tell, we're not from this neighborhood, this
Yeah.
area.
True.
First time I've heard it. I mean, those animals you get out there are beautiful.
Yeah. The dire sea pony is something to behold, isn't it?
Ooh.
She says. So.
Can't wait to
what,
get a
what
closer look.
specifically are you looking for?
Well, right now we just want basic understanding, like what are the rules, what's allowed,
Fair enough.
regulations, what kind of security, like is there an inspection on the horses beforehand?
or after.
So there's it's 3 laps. around a around a half-mile circuit. Now, our ponies get up pretty fast, so a lot of this is going to come down to chariot design as well, making sure you're getting as little pull of the water on you and as much how would you put it, slide through as you can get. As far as what's allowed, the things are getting a bit more organized, but it's something of a recent sport, if you will. So there's a lot that's allowed to go, but because you see, part of the game is not just ensuring that you win; it's that your opponents lose. So as far as security on the animals goes, that's up to the stable in mind. So whether it's their own stable that they've set up for their own security, or whether they're hiring out a stable, the stable is the one that's going to watch over the animals, brings in a healer to check them for any sort of tampering, that sort of thing. So, I mean, what else do you need to know?
I guess.
Hello.
Well, I'm curious, how fast can the ponies go? Like, are you seeing?
4 months.
Well, fastest we've gotten them up to is quite fast, except she tells you a number. In mechanical terms, the average sea pony has a water movement speed of 65.
Oh.
These racing ones are faster.
Jeez.
But for the sake of your shape-shifting, you would turn into an average one.
That works.
Unless you pick up a couple levels of barbarian.
Retroactively and in the future, because that would be the only way to make it work still.
Like, wait a minute. We can totally fix this race for you. We just need to come back in a year.
Let us level really quick.
Barbarian.
Hey, 1 level of barbarian will do you wonders as a druid, I promise.
He speaks from experience.
What is allowed during the race? Are you allowed contact between the chariots?
Contact is acceptable, just so long as it doesn't get too far. I mean, we don't want blood in the water or anything like that. Keeping your seat is part of the game. However, the riders and their respective stables, well, their respective sponsors, are responsible for repaying other competitors for damages. So they're not typically eager to cause too much damage to pony or chariot, but technically speaking, it wouldn't be allowed. But breeding the ponies and building the chariots is not cheap, so you may be wiping out your entire prize pool in damages if you're not careful. And after all, we're all here to make money. You must stay within the bounds of the track. You go outside for more than 15 seconds, and you're disqualified. The track is lit by a series of minor illusions, just to provide some illumination and maybe a little imagery to jazz up the scenery. We do have a illusionist that we bring in for the big races to give a clear view when they're further out in the bay for those that are watching from the shore.
What about magic?
She's like, well, that's becoming something of a sticking point. Any sort of direct enchantment, well, any sort of direct application of magic upon the steeds or upon the chariots themselves is not allowed, so long as it's caught. However, other forms, more permanent forms of enhancement, are permitted, partially because we have no real way to check for them. So I suppose it mainly comes down to timing, because we can't be closely watching all the time.
Alright.
We've got a brilliant
I
idea.
think that answers our questions. Unless you guys have any more.
Sean has a brilliant idea.
It's okay.
Is
we'll meet back
there
up.
My character.
Somebody you want specifically to win, or just she lose?
I'm not betting for anyone. I'm just betting against her.
Okay.
And let me know tomorrow before the race if this is on, because I need to get my bets in.
So you don't care who wins.
Just that she does not.
Can you give me the information on the rider?
The rider?
Yeah.
So Petra, she's a recent arrival, dwarf out of Steinmark. Came in, bit of a slum girl. Didn't have a lot going for her until I don't know the exact details, but someone cut something. There's some sort of story about someone catching her eye with her swimming talent, or maybe it was her talent with animals. It's kind of hazy. I think they're very intentionally keeping that story on the down low. But she caught the eye of a sponsor from out of town, and the sponsor got her set up. Unfortunately, the sponsor is something of the house in breeding the ponies, so they had access, of course, to the best stock and set her up.
So, how important is animal handling in this race for the horse and the rider to win?
Well, I mean,
Does it make a pretty big difference?
The ponies have done the track so many times they can do it in their sleep, but it's about controlling them in relation to the other riders that sort of skill becomes important. Knowing when to swing in the wain, when to take a corner, when to even stray outside of the track for within the amount of time that you're allowed, because they don't understand the rules. They're not above the water. They can't make the best decisions themselves, but they can run the track by themselves. They'll just probably lose. And a lot easier to spook ponies that don't have a steady hand. And I must say, as much as the ponies are a big part of it, Petra is too.
Well,
I still have questions. Has there ever been outside interference from the ocean? Meaning stray animals coming in, getting in the way, causing...
Usually we're causing enough of a stir that anything's going to stay away. I mean, of course, some predators are attracted to thrashing in the water, but when there's this much thrashing, they generally stay away. We have had some freak incidents with some elementals, but got a bit of a slap down from some of the dock druids, and they went on their way.
what happens to a race if something happens in the middle of it?
Usually we reset. Oh well, I mean, we haven't had a lot of instances. We've only had one instance where anything happened. What happened is we canceled for the day, came back in 2 days.
It's a shame if something would have happened to the rider.
Yes, it would be, because
I didn't actually see that.
then the bets may be called off.
Well, at the race tomorrow, if it's going to happen, come sit next to you. I'll tell you what will happen. If not,
A little bit more warning so I can get my bets in, please. Like, give me an hour or two at least.
all right, I'll give you a couple hours.
Thank you.
Wasn't sure if you could make bets that close to the race. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
okay.
you can, but I would like some clearance to get them in.
Well,
Questions about the horses specifically. What are they? Ponies. Sorry. What are they afraid of?
Well, I mean, most things are afraid of their natural
Failure.
predators.
Well, what is the pony's natural predator?
Well, the biggest local predator is not one that strays in that far. No. Well,
I'm not
humans maybe, but no. Their biggest natural predator is of course the killer whale and its larger cousin, the dire killer whale. But again, they don't stray in that often because of that much activity. I mean, occasionally they'll get picked off by larger sharks as well. I mean, they're not exactly very aggressive creatures. They're just really fast.
Do you get killer whales and dire killer whales often out in the further reaches of the bay or this area?
Not often. Again, we've got so much activity out here.
Well, I'm not saying where the race happens. I'm saying a bit farther out.
Yeah, maybe out there. Some.
Okay.
Now, like, I understand if you want to cause a commotion, just ensure they don't cancel the race because of it.
Yep.
A pod of killer whales swimming into the middle of the race will probably get it canceled, not her lose.